Winter is here on the mountain, which means we've transitioned to using our wood stove as our primary heat source. Today, I'll show you our process for storing and bringing in firewood and how we've made this chore as practical and efficient as possible for our situation. When temperatures outside dip into the 40s, we'll start to pulse heat the house with a few hours of wood fire a day. By the time it drops to the 20s and below, we keep the fire going as close to around the clock as possible. While we do have other heat sources, like propane and electric, when it gets this cold, we rely on our wood stove primarily. With winters that last from November to May up here, that means we burn a lot of firewood. Every summer, we get to work and put up 9 to 12 cords of wood. That's about 1,100 to 1,500 cubic feet, depending on how much we have left from the year prior. Now, the chore becomes bringing what will burn from where it's stored in the barn to the house. And we don't use a wheelbarrow. We move it in bulk. To move plenty of wood at once, we use IBC tote frames, which are made to store and move large volumes of liquid. We customized ours by pulling out the plastic tank and cutting a section out of one side of the metal crate as a window for easier access. They're perfect for moving with a set of forks. The first step on firewood days is to move the empty totes out to the barn where the wood is stacked. Move the extra empty totes out of the way. And load them up with the next batch of wood. We split the wood we gather before we stack it when the weather's better and we can use a wood splitter, a huge help given the volume we process. Our wood stove is installed in our unfinished basement. Because we have plenty of room in there and the floor is a bare concrete pad, it's the perfect place to store our firewood once it's in these totes. The track loader makes it easy to set them right down inside the garage door. Then we jack the tote up onto wheels so we can easily roll it around and tuck it out of the way to make room for the second load. The lights from the track loader make it easy to get this job done whatever time of day we end up having available to do it. Since we don't have livestock, using the barn for wood storage was an obvious use for the structure. Storing our wood inside it keeps it really nice and dry, protected from the elements, and is safer than stacking it near the house or anywhere it could be a problem in case of wildfire. Being able to work on refilling the totes in the relative shelter of the barn is also a real plus, especially when the wind is howling on those bitter cold days when the temperatures are in the single digits or sub-zero. If you're going to use bins as large as these totes to move this much wood, you'll want to be sure your tractor can handle lifting the weight and your forks are rated for the load. Before we upgraded to this Cat track loader, we learned the hard way when our smaller John Deere tractor couldn't manage to lift the full tote under load, and we had to remove a good third of what we'd just stacked to get it off the ground at all. Managing our firewood this way is a bit of a project, but an occasional one, and much more efficient and enjoyable than running out to get wood every day. At our highest rate of use, we get 2.5 to 3 weeks of burning out of these 2 full totes before we have to restock, which gives us great flexibility to plan our restocking around snowstorms and other commitments without running out. Now we get the track loader ready to park, where it will wait until we need to move snow with it or we're just ready for more wood. We leave the forks in the barn where they're out of the way. Finally, we reattach the snowblower and park it in the shop where it stays snow-free and protected. I hope you liked this video, and I'd love to hear from you. If you heat with wood, what's your process? For a future video, would you like to see a track loader tour, or for us to share why we chose this particular make and model? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching here on Cue the Moose.